Hello Aries, and thank you for joining me this week. This is your reading. Oh, cards are popping out already on Green Line Goddess. Whoa, the Tower card coming up for you guys this week. Some big changes coming through for you with Poseidon. We're using the Mythic Tarot cards, Stories of the Greek Myths. This is a general reading, your weekly reading. Barely time to say all this before the cards popping out. The Tower card coming up for you, the element of water with the Poseidon, the god of the sea, coming in. And this is really about things shifting and changing, things in your life that are no longer serving you. They're just leaving your life. It's a cleanse was the words I just got for you, Aries. The Tower card, it's a major arcana. I feel like, with this card, it's often you don't have a lot of choice. It kind of just feels like it's happening to you. You're not in control of it. And also feels, it can be quite stormy. It can stir up some emotions. It really depends on how you react to change, but it's all for your greater good. It's all for your greater good is the message. And I'm really drawn to the spikiness of the trident, just how it's just very pointed. So I feel like it's going to be very pointed. It's going to be very specific things in your life, and it could feel a little bit sharp and pointy. That's kind of the feeling I'm getting. It could kind of you could feel a little bit like you've just been pricked. Like yeah, someone's just kind of yeah. It could feel a little bit like that. It's not comfortable. It sometimes isn't comfortable, but let's find out some more cards for Aries for what can be happening. And I'm really drawn to the thunderbolts as well. So it's like it's just coming out of the blue. This is divine timing. It's got a divine element, that it's something that's happening, like I said, out of your control. It's got a karmic element to it. So it's just kind of like boom. I'm just getting like it's the sudden change, a sudden change. So what else can we get for Aries coming up this week? What can we get for the beautiful Aries? Something else that's going to... I just got to shuffle until I get told it's okay. Something that's... I'm just going to look at this while I'm shuffling, because I do get it's just going to be one very specific area of your life. It's not going to be all of it. So I'm just drawn to there's one lightning bolt and it's just hitting the water. So it's going to hit an emotional spot. Something's going to hit its target with you, Aries. Whether it's something somebody says, or it's a relationship, a friendship, or it's a workplace. We have the King of Swords just kind of popped out as well. Again, we've got the sword. So I feel like, the swords are representing thoughts. It's the element of air in this King of Swords. And this King of Swords is about rationally, being this is a very intelligent, rational person, weighs things up with his mind, but has the potential to be quite pointed in the things he says. So I feel like you might encounter this King of Swords. I don't feel like this is you, Aries. I feel like the King of Swords, the tip of that King of Swords sword is the same impact as the tip of the Poseidon's trident. And I'm just really drawn to the fact that there's only a little bit, this top little bit in the corner is crumbling. So it feels like everything else is good. There's just one little pointed aspect. And I feel like it's going to be triggered by an action or a word or a communication, something somebody says. Someone's going to kind of, with their words or actions, someone's going to feel, I want to say the word stabbed, but not realistically, obviously, but kind of energetically, it feels a bit like you've been attacked, and it's just like, I feel like I've just been, whoa, out of the blue, like trying to kind of, I feel like I've been sucker punched almost. I know that's not what you want to be hearing, Aries, so let's try and get some more clarity around this. Let's try and get some more clarity. Let's get some more clarity. What else can we get for Aries around this? Because this King of Swords, even though it's like, I'm trying to get the energy around this King of Swords, because it's like they're trying to almost teach you a lesson. Rather than being vengeful or vindictive, it's kind of a little bit like they think that it's like they want to deflate you a little bit. They think you're a bit too inflated. So they kind of just want to kind of push you down by jabbing you and teaching you a lesson. But what you'll realize is that it's not safe to be around that person, that person is not who you thought they were. You'll be quite surprised and shocked because you thought you were on different ground with that other person. But I get, I don't really want to say this, but I get that the other person's been a little bit irritated by a situation, so they're kind of just poking you, a little bit irritated. So what else can we get for Aries? So I feel like, yeah, it might just be that you're a little bit sensitive this week, Aries. So this might, that might not necessarily be a specific situation for you, but it might just be that the communication that you're getting from other people feels quite pointy and sharp. Okay, you're maybe a little bit more sensitive to other people and what they say to you this week. And this is the Death card coming through. This is Hades, god of the underworld. It's really about change. So this week you're going to be, the big challenge for you, the situation is going to be all around change and how you respond to that. And it feels more change in relationships with one person in particular, okay? It's going to be more around your relationship with people is what I'm getting. And it's all around boundaries, around setting boundaries, okay? And someone kind of almost wanting to squash you, almost like, not that you're a big threat to them, but it's just like, it's hard to describe, and this obviously could be reversed. Someone could be irritating you, but really it's going to be an issue around boundaries and how your boundaries are changing this week and how that's going to affect you and how that's... I do feel you being a bit sensitive to people's comments and remarks, but other people could be being quite sharp this week, quite sharp. So what else are we getting for Aries? What else can we get for you guys? And I'm just looking at, yep, now we have the Queen of Swords, okay? So we've got the King and the Queen of Swords. Now, I feel like this is you, so I think it's fire meets fire, but in this case, it's swords meets swords. So it's someone that you're an equal with in terms of, swords, the element air, it's your mind, it's your thoughts. You're meeting someone, you're having this kind of almost squabble with someone who's your equal, okay? And because you've both got your swords upright, I feel like you're both quite resolute. It's like you're both standing your ground and you've both got the ability to cut quite sharply with your words, okay? I feel like this is you. It's not gender specific, so if you're male, this is just the character of the Queen of Swords, but I feel like this is you this week, Aries, and it's like there's this real stubborn energy, like, yep, I'm not moving, I'm not going to emotionally get involved with this, I'm not going to connect with this, I'm just going to go, I don't regard. It's kind of a defense mechanism of how you're going to be, like you're going to pretend you're not hurt, throw it away, that doesn't affect me, I'm not hurt by that. And some of you may not be, and others of you might be, but you're putting up a kind of bravado facade of, yeah, I'm tough and I'm not being hurt by this. Okay, so it's how those sort of facades of what we put on in response to people when we're hurt and we pretend we're not, but we really are. So it's that sort of thing coming up for you this week, Aries, really looking at that. And little spats, chance of little conflicts with people. Might be partners, could be sisters, friends, brothers, family members. There's someone that you actually feel quite comfortable with speaking freely with, and they speak quite freely back. So it's a bit of a sibling tit for tat kind of fight, or like a lover fight when you know each other very well. You've been together for so long, you might have a little bit of a squabble. It's got that squabbly feel to it. It's got a squabbly feel, but I feel like you're quite resolute and going to be quite, almost, you're going to stand your ground, almost stubborn is kind of the word I'm getting. So what else can we get for Aries? Why are they being like this week? Why are we being like this week? So we've got the Five of Wands here. This is Jason in a battle, okay? This is his battle with the dragon. Jason of the Argonauts, his quest is to get the golden fleece. This is the dragon that's guarding the golden fleece, okay? So I feel like, almost I'm getting the words contender. So now I'm getting that the other person, I feel like the other person is the dragon. And they're the person, they're being a little bit defensive. And it's kind of that thing that you go on the attack to defend, but they've got what you want in a way. They've got something that you want, whether it's an aspect of their personality or a job that they've got or a person. There's something about that person that you're aspiring towards, that you admire and would like to have that quality, but it's almost like you're being competitive with that. I hope this is making some sense, but it's like the other person's quite defensive because they're feeling a little bit threatened by you. So they're getting a sense that you're rising, okay? So whether you're being competitive or not with someone, you may not be a competitive person. I feel like you're rising in strength, and this other person is kind of feeling that. They're feeling this rise in strength of you, so they're trying to kind of squash you down and defend themselves because they find your strength a little bit threatening. So I think that, it's a challenge to the status quo of relationships that is happening this week. There's a real challenge to the boundaries and the status quo because I feel like the Aries, that you guys are growing more powerful in a relationship with someone, and this part of the tower that's crumbling is the part where you're kind of held lesser than, held down. It's almost like you can't even, you're not even, like when I got this stubborn energy, it's almost like you can't stop it because it's like something bigger than you. It's almost like soul energy that's coming out this week that's bigger than you, that you kind of don't even really have any control over, which is why I'm getting the Tower card as well. So I feel like someone, whether this other person even understands why they're reacting to you, I feel like you're growing energetically as like a being, an enigmatic being, as a soul, like more soul energy coming through is kind of the feeling I'm getting. So the other people or person in particular in your life are responding to that, but they might not know exactly why, which is why it might feel like a fairly empty quabble or argument with somebody. So it has that ability because they don't understand that this is what you're like. This is what's happening to you, and it's almost like you might not even understand. So, sometimes you have a fight and you're just holding your ground, but you don't really know what you're fighting about. It's got that energy to it. It's really got that energy to it this week, Aries. So I feel like you're really stepping more into your soul and your soul energy, connecting with that. And it's just having kind of a ripple effect, a bit like a boom. Imagine a silent kind of shockwave coming out and affecting other people. So I feel like, yeah, that's what's happening for you guys this week. It's all happening on a very kind of esoteric level, but I think you will notice it in your relationships with other people. So what else can we get as a final little parting soul card for Aries? What can we get for you guys this week? What can we get? And I will say the Three of Wands popped out, and I just wanted to put it for the side for whatever reason, but because I thought it will come back to me. And what I've just got then is that I think there'll be an apology around this, because I think the other person that's kind of stabbed you with their words and had that petty little quabble with you will kind of not really understand and kind of realise that they've been quite petty. So I think this is a possibility of a reconciliation and a backing down, an apology of that person, because realistically it's just all happening on this higher level and they don't really understand it. It's just like a natural reaction that people have to that. So I don't think they mean anything malicious by it. And it does have, like, is someone close to you. It's got that close to you energy, like a sibling or a lover or a very close friend, workmate. It's somebody that you kind of trust enough to have those little petty quabbles. Okay, what can we get for Aries as a soul card? What can we get for a message for Aries today? So like I say, don't worry if you are having these little quabbles with people that may come up this week, but it's purely because of that's what's happening on a higher level, and I feel like it will kind of all resolve itself pretty soon. So with the Knight of Wands coming in, this is a message from the soul. It is that element of being on fire. Okay, the night energy is about being inspired and moving forward. It's the fire, so it's the element of it's your element, basically, is what I'm trying to say. And it also, with this Knight of Wands, because it's the Pegasus flying, it's fire meets air. Okay, it's that delicate balance. It's not only, I think of it as an air card as well as a fire card. And it's about your passion, about your vision for the future, about what drives you, your ambition, your career. Maybe, I feel like there's the stirrings, is what I'm getting now. There's a stirring of a new idea, a new thought, a new way of a bigger idea for yourself, a bigger vision for yourself. And that's challenging. It's stirring within. I feel like it's stirring within. It's starting to take off within you and rising up. Hence the Knight of Wands, it's flying. It's starting to fly and rise. I feel like there's this, it's almost like Kundalini energy, but it's this stirring of, sometimes you kind of always think of yourself as one thing doing this, and you've never really kind of thought that you could do something else. And suddenly it's stirring within you that, yes, you could do that thing, and I could maybe do something bigger and different. It's got that feeling to it. And so because this is stirring within you, and it feels very much like, that soul energy stirring up, all this work that you've been doing over the last, even with the full moon, it's brought all this up. It's this energy that's come up, just kind of, it's going to turn into motivation and drive. But it's new, it's stirring. And so I feel like the fact it's stirring, it's ruffling other feathers in your life. But that's okay, because it's all good, and other people will get used to it. Okay, they'll get used to it. But it's all really positive. Okay, Aries? So I hope that makes sense for some of you guys this week. I will be uploading these at the same time, so please subscribe, like, or leave a message. I am now doing very limited private readings, so there is a link below if you would be interested in booking a recorded reading with me. And so please go to that. There is only, it's kind of limited. Some people have been asking for different lengths of the readings. At the moment, I can only offer what is on offer on the link below. So that's all I can do right at this moment. But I hope you have a great time this week, Aries, and I'm looking forward to what this stirring is and where that's going to lead to. So take care and see you next time. Bye.